Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Freeze Peach Gaming. My name is Steven, and this is where I like to talk about pop culture, politics, and where the two collide. Today I'm going over the Witcher Season 2 official trailer that just dropped about 7 hours ago here on October 29th. I enjoyed Season 1 for a little bit of a precursor. I enjoyed Season 1. I thought it was decent. Of course, like most people, the first few episodes were a little bit sporadic and didn't exactly come together very well until you get to about the fifth episode. I had some issues with the episode with the dragon. The CGI just looked really bad on the episode with the dragon. Also, the way it plays out in the show as opposed to how it plays out in the book. I don't know. I think the book did it a lot better, but that's a common complaint about TV shows versus books. I will say, not the strongest show I've seen over the past year or so, or past couple of years, came out a few years ago, but it did a decent job. I really think Henry Cavill kind of carried the show on his back, and I'm mostly interested in seeing more of Henry Cavill as Geralt of Rivia. I was quite the fan of the third game. I've played it, I'm on my third playthrough currently of it, so I do have a bit of a background to this. I haven't read all of the books, but I've read the second book, so what this should be covering, I've already read. Either way, let's hop right into this. All right.
Something has changed, Geralt.
Hang on. I'm getting rid of those closed captions on there. I don't want to see that. I want the whole thing. Looks like we have another dragon flying through. I don't remember in the second book seeing, what was his name? Three Jackdaws. I don't remember seeing him again.
The world's acting strange these days.
Alright, so we see some more battlefield covered in corpses here. Lots of, looks like we have a lot of black armor there, so it seems like the Nilfgaardians may have taken a couple of losses by this point.
The north and south at war. Monsters roaming when they should be hibernating.
Okay, that's pretty cool. What would that be, a Bruxa you have right there doing the scream? That looks like it might be another one of the short stories that they're showing there. One of the short stories in the second book before you get into the actual Witcher series is about a cursed man who has what he believes to be a nice, not monster, but creature living nearby in the woods who comes to visit him, but it's actually a Bruxa. So that might be what they're doing there.
Maybe it's the end.
Okay, so that looks more like Aretuza is supposed to look, to where you actually have the city around it, and it's supposed to be a large tower. But we've already seen Aretuza multiple times, where all of the witches and wizards train as more of a square-shaped building with lights coming out of the side whenever the batteries, the eel batteries get activated.
End of days.
Okay, so we see right there, let me back that up just a hair. So we can see the large crag that Ciri created as she was running away from the prince. I believe he's supposed to be Emir, but we'll see. We'll get some more detail on that guy.
I've lived through 3 supposed end of days. It's all horseshit.
Okay, see, that's exactly what I was talking about, the story with the Bruxa living outside of the cursed man's home. So that's definitely not a monster. That's just a man who has been stricken with a curse, and it's sort of a twisting of the Beauty and the Beast story.
This continent.
Okay, that appears to be, let's see, can we see some of the people there? No, that can't be the one I'm thinking of. No, that looks like it might be the caravan that Ciri and Geralt had traveled together with, as they were trying to get Ciri to another safe location. I believe as they were trying to get her to Kaer Morhen. So that might be what's going on here.
Continent was meant for no one. None of us will have any peace until there are no monsters left in the world.
Oh yeah, see, that's definitely the Bruxa. They're well known for being able to transform themselves.
That's my home. My fight.
So I'm curious whether or not when Ciri begins to start training at Kaer Morhen, if they're going to show the full extent that they go to, because in the books they actually start giving her, not the full mutations, but they start giving her some of the precursors to the mutations, and it actually starts to have some negative effects on her body overall. She starts to begin to have more masculine features because she's going through these rigorous training exercises. And when Triss first sees her, she actually believes this to be a young boy and not a young girl.
Your precious leader's after something. You're a pawn to get to it.
Rebuild our forces. Strengthen our numbers. We are an empire. The war's just begun.
So there was a lot going on there. It appears that Fringilla has Fringilla and oh wow, I really should remember her name. Yennefer are talking to each other again right in this scene here, which you'd think this appears to be directly after the battle. Maybe they're both just too tapped and they don't have enough chaos to take each other out anymore. See, that's about where I left off. Then it appears Geralt's just fighting a large group of people, having to use some signs to defend himself. We've seen all of that before.
Begun.
I don't like the fact that they're using a rap song in this. I'll just go ahead and throw that out there. I feel like they should have just stuck with more, epic Hans Zimmer-esque music for this, or even just taken straight out of the video game music. Something more high fantasy rather than rap. It pulls me out of the situation personally.
Fear is an illness. It can consume you.
Okay, that appears to be Ciri running the gauntlet, I believe they call it. It's a path leading around Kaer Morhen, so that's definitely where they're going to.
Our best chance.
Oh, looks like Geralt finally got himself some new armor. And that appears to be a buttload of Witchers right there. How they all have the pale faces with the dark eyes. Assuming Vesemir. I'm not sure who else we might be dealing with. You do see quite a few Witchers in the books, but it's hard to remember a lot of them if they haven't been, for me personally, if they haven't been featured in the video games.
You have to face it. Are you ready for this?
Okay, what was that going on there? Who is Ciri riding with? Okay, it appears Ciri's riding with Yennefer at that moment, which that did happen quite a bit in the books. As Ciri's going through her training, she'll begin to show more signs of her power, which she had only had some very small showings of in the books. Certainly not nearly the vulgar displays of power that you see in the first season of the show. And so she goes off to train with Yennefer after training with Geralt to learn to control her magic. Okay, so we're gonna see some more. I've seen that guy a couple of times with the scars on his face there. He's featured in the second book. He's sort of the antagonist.
If what you say about that girl's power is true, you can't help her.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Appears to be a Spriggan. Those were some fun fights in the game. You don't get too many Spriggan fights, but they're pretty fun.
The man, the myth,
Oh, Dandelion's loot getting smashed.
the legend.
I'm gonna need your help.
Fine, but first, gentlemen, it's been an honor. What? I made new friends. Get over it.
So, this is something I didn't like about the show. Dandelion in the books and even in the games a bit more, he's a bit more worldly. You know, he wants to be a traveling minstrel. He knows that he intentionally puts himself into these dangerous situations, but he's actually a bit more of a philosopher. Whereas in the show, he's a bit of just, I mean, the name kind of fits it, but he's just kind of a dandy. He's definitely there as comic relief throughout the first season, and he actually has some good moments. But he's supposed to be much more callous to reality. He's definitely fun-loving in the books, and he looks for a good time in every situation. But he's able to see parts of the world from the human interaction side of things that Geralt himself isn't able to properly understand. And you don't see that very well in the show. So, Dandelion, not my favorite of characters in the show.
Jealous?
Yeah, that seemed kind of stupid. Oh, we'll be seeing that on December 17th. I'll be sure to be doing an episode-by-episode update when it actually comes out. I'll say that actually looked interesting. I am intrigued for the second season. It's been a while since the first season came out. What was that, 2018, 2019? The first season came out, so it's been a couple of years now, because, everything gets messed up by the coof. So I believe the hype has actually probably died down a little bit. I think 1 year is the perfect amount of time between seasons. You start to go into the 2-year realm, and having dealt with this from being a big Venture Brothers fan, and they were well known for taking a 2-year gap in between each season, you kind of forget about it until it's out there. You'll even see like a teaser trailer and it's like, oh, it's coming out in like 6 months. And you kind of forget by the time it actually hits. I'll say they probably made a good decision in waiting until, almost November to release this. So we're only having to wait a month and a half or so before we actually see it. But I'm looking forward to it. And I'll be sure to give you guys a proper update when the episodes come out. And I might even do an episode by episode breakdown of it. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I would appreciate if you could give me a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to get some more subscribers up. I'm still really small here on the YouTube, and I could use your help to get me there. Either way, have a wonderful day, and never be afraid to speak your mind.
What do you call a lesbian dinosaur? Lick-a-lottopus! Ow, waka waka!